All right, let's stay with crime matters now, but take you to KwaZulu-Natal, and that's where police have recovered copper worth millions of rand at a scrapyard in Queensburgh. Now, the Newzroom Afrika reporter Silethiwe Ndlovu is live for us in the area. Silethiwe, good evening to you and thank you for this particular update. Tell us what police have recovered and has there been any arrests?
Yeah, what I can tell you is that copper that was attained illegally has now been retrieved by the police in Queensburgh, specifically Martin Drive. And to give us more details on that, we are joined now by the KZN police spokesperson, Colonel Robert Netshiunda. Colonel, thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. I think firstly, let's start off with that recovery. What can you tell us about the recovery?
We had found intelligence that there were some activities which looked to be illegal at a scrapyard in Queensburgh, and we had to send teams to ensure that whatever we have as intelligence is put into operation, and our public order policing officers were sent there, and for that there were copper. We had to follow the right procedures to call those who are responsible, like your telecom, Tukini Metro, Brasa, those who deal with copper. And when they arrived this morning, they identified some of the coppers as theirs and that they were stolen. And yes, as we speak now, we're still processing the scene because there's just too much copper. So far, the copper that we have identified as stolen is worth plus minus 20 million rand.
Okay. I think let's talk about whether you know what the intention was behind attaining that copper illegally. Do you know if it was for selling purposes? Do you know if it was for personal use?
It's pure criminality. And on the previous operations that we had, we found that the intention is to make money out of those copper because they had attained that copper for almost nothing, and then they make millions out of it. So it's pure criminality. They steal copper for their own benefit.
And maybe let's just talk about arrests. Has any person been arrested? Have any people been arrested in relation to that retrieval?
Yes, there is a 59-year-old man who claimed to be the manager of the scrapyard. He is detained as we are still processing. He will be charged accordingly and we'll put him through the courts. If there are more suspects that should be arrested, we will pursue that because we believe that as the manager, yes, he's in charge of the operations, but there are those who are supplying him with copper. So we'd like to know who they are. If there are any kingpins, go to them as well because we need to cut a syndicate, bring it to its knees. Because in and around Durban, this could be the fourth or the fifth scrapyards that we are closing down because of copper cables. We believe that there could be a syndicate at play, so those who are responsible for supplying them with stolen copper, we should get to them and arrest them.
Colonel, thank you so much for taking some time to speak to us this evening. That was, of course, the KZN police spokesperson, Colonel Robert Netshiunda, just detailing how that copper was retrieved, how they got those details, and obviously where it was attained. That was, of course, at Queensburgh, at Martin Drive, specifically at a scrapyard called Group Rec. A 59-year-old male has been arrested and will appear before the court.